Hello Linux lovers, my name's Wimpy, welcome to my world. I'm going to be wrestling with virtual machines again, specifically macOS and Windows running as guests under Linux using Quickemu and a project of my own making called Quickemu. So I've refactored that. I did a new release of it earlier and I'm in the thick of it. I'm optimizing things like crazy, so I'm going to carry on working on that this evening. So it's going to be virtual machines all the way. Lots of Windows, lots of Mac, a little bit of Linux, and showing off some of the new features in Quickemu. Right then, let's just get my messages pinged out. There we go. Right, we'll go with that then. So, let's just have a little look here. What have we got? First of all, I need to just move my audio mix into my earphones a little bit. I can't hear myself very well. There we go. That's a bit better. Right then, so what Quickemu is it's a wrapper around QEMU that enables you to easily stand up VMs for testing. An unannounced stream, yeah, as if by magic. Hey Yannick, how you doing? Yannick, do you want to join? I know you've got an interest in this. Do you want to join me in the on-air channel so that we can discuss this? Because I think we've both been fiddling with the same thing in recent days. Maybe you've got some pointers for me. But I think progress is being made here. It's either all going to go horribly wrong in just a moment on the stream. I've got these VMs paused at a point. Okay, I'll hop into the on-air channel. Right, I'm in on-air. So if you join me there, that looks like that's working. Cool. Right then, so let's have a look at what we've got. I'll keep an eye open in Discord to see. Hey Yannick, how you doing? I think you must be setting up your mic and stuff. I will wait patiently. So, let's just head over to my GitHub for this, because I did a new release of Quickemu earlier and it was a bunch of work I did last night. Hello Yannick, how are you doing?
I am fine, thank you.
Excellent. Thanks for joining. So hey Paul, hey Big Pod, how are you? So there is a new release of Quickemu. It's 2.0. It isn't published in the PPA, but the version in here is updated. And there is some noteworthy improvements here. Most specifically, Spice support has been added. Spice is a protocol that enables you to do a whole bunch of interesting stuff with VMs and Quickemu in particular. The interesting stuff being copy and paste between the guest and the host. That's text pasting. File sharing has a WebDAV built in. USB device redirection, which doesn't require any escalated privileges to do it. And I've also done the smart card pass-through. And then I've added a display option so that you can choose how you want to render it. And I'll get into why I've done this. I've dropped the Samba support because that's quite a heavyweight solution, and the fact that you can do the file sharing over Spice is good enough, although I may investigate other options in the future. And then Yannick had some fixes, so he's added a thing where you can elect the screen that you want to use to use the screen to elect the screen to set the resolution of the VM. And then he also fixed the full screen support. So, and then I wrote up a bunch of docs. So the documentation is a bit more, well, it's simpler, but there's a bit more detail, including all of this stuff here about what additional bits you need for Windows to do things like the file sharing and the USB direction. So that's sort of earlier. Hey Andy Hazen, how you doing? And once I'd got that far, and also I refactored a big portion of the code, which makes it way easier to maintain and is like the first step to making it even easier to actually move quickly on this stuff. So I'm very much in a groove on this at the moment. So the big change is this used to have like 4 areas in the code where it used to boot the VMs in different modes. And that's now one bit of logic. So it builds up blocks of configuration for macOS and then PC. And then there is a single boot that happens that uses that sort of composed configuration. So I'm very happy with that because this makes it much easier to read, and I've got some ideas about interesting things we could do with this. And it's using Spicy. So I think what we'll do is we'll just demo very quickly what I've got, and then what I want to get into is macOS and Windows, because I want to tune some things to make it work a bit better. So Yannick, you've been looking at macOS as well, using all of this.
Yes.
And what's your motivation for that?
Well, I'm building some apps with Flutter at the moment, and I can do that very easily for Android, but not that easily for iOS. So I thought, well, I've got Quickemu and it can run macOS. So I booted Catalina without any problem, except for the time it took for the installation. Then I wanted to install Xcode, and Apple told me, well, you've got an old version of macOS, you need to upgrade to Big Sur. And that's when the problem started, as I was not able to upgrade to Big Sur, and I was not able to find an image of Big Sur that Quickemu would boot in its states of this morning.
Right. I see. Well, I have good news. I'll show you something very quickly. Let's just do this. Is this? Oh, is this? Oh, it's gone to sleep. Oh, I don't believe it. That's bad.
Yeah. I tend to do that.
Oh, flipping Apple. I'll have to shut it down and wake it up again. Okay. Well, I won't show you that now then. Right. So what I will show very quickly is I'm just going to start up a VM, which is an Ubuntu Mate VM. I don't know if it's installed or not. We'll find out in just a moment. It looks like it might be. So there we go. There's a VM, and if I do my super secure password, there we go. This is how things used to work. This by default is using SDL as the display output, and the reason for that is that you can enable virtual and you can get somewhat decent 3D graphics performance. But I can't do anything like copy and paste text or any of that good stuff. Hey Chafu, after the last Ubuntu podcast, I'm surprised this stream is not done on macOS. Well, don't hold your breath because we're busting out the macOS in a little bit. So I'm just going to shut this down. And what we'll do now is we'll run up the same VM, but this time we'll use this new display Spice. So this time you'll see the window's a little different, and this is using the Spicy client. And down the bottom here you can see things like whether the mouse is rendered by the client and whether the agent is connected or not. So once I've logged in, if I get on the right screen, once I've logged in, it should detect that the agent is connected, and indeed it has. So at this point, I can now do something like this. I can go into Pluma, text from the guest, and I can go back to my terminal here. I'll just clear that terminal, right click, paste, and there we go. So there's the copy and paste. We'll find out how good it is in just a little bit. I've been trying to make it go inside VMs. So that's one thing that's working. The other is, if I look here, it tells me that DAV is exported here. So if I copy that, because I can copy it from this terminal, go to the virtual machine, open up the file browser, and now paste that in, and this will take a little moment. The first run takes a little while, but I'm now looking at the home directory on my host machine, and I can bookmark that.
That's going to be very helpful.
So there we go. So I've now got a bookmark of my host, and I can move stuff backwards and forwards. And then this is where it gets even more interesting. If I look in this window here, under input, select USB devices for redirection. Here are my, I've unplugged them. Bother. Desperately looks around. Aha, I found a USB device. One moment. So, I don't know if this is going to work. This is untested, but let's find out. So I've got a controller. I will plug this in, and hopefully... Right, that's rumbled. I wonder if this list... Oh, there it goes. There it is there. So I'm now going to click that. And if I, on the guest here, ls USB, you should now be able to see there's the joystick connected to the guest. And if I sudo apt install js test gtk, that's the wrong password. My password is test. Right, so we'll just install that. Yeah, so here's the controller. It's plugged into the host machine, and if I now run js test gtk, let's pick the right thing. Property. That's the tablet for the mouse. So this is the thing. So properties, and there we go. So that's passed through a controller from the host to the guest. So all of that stuff is working brilliantly, and I'm very happy with the results. Now the other thing I can do is, if I close that UI and then go up here and untick this, that's now disconnected it, and if I refresh, it's gone. So this is working much, much better than the old solution, which that's coming another day. Passing through the GPU, that's coming. The limitation there is I need to set up a machine with 2 GPUs. I have 2 GPUs. I don't have a machine with all the stuff. But there we go. So that's the main push of all the changes that I made, was to make all of that spice stuff work, and I'm very happy with the results as things fall over. Right, okay, so that's kind of all I needed to show for that. I think, I don't know if there's a whole bunch of options in this spice client. I've not played with them all, but you can change, how it renders things. You can also auto redirect new devices that you plug in. That could be fun. Let's do that. Let's see if that works. So if I run...
It's working with macOS too, right?
No, I don't think this mechanism absolutely will not work with macOS. Okay. Because this is a spice feature, and there's no drivers for macOS. It should work on Windows.
We need to find someone to write a spice driver for macOS.
Yeah, it's in the works, but it's very early days.
So ultimately, I'm gonna have to plug my iPhone to my PC and pass that through to the macOS. so that it can install my app and I can test it.
There we go. That worked. So I ticked that box. Auto redirect newly plugged devices. I plug the controller in, hit refresh, and there it is. Awesome. That's great. So I suppose I should be able to go up here and disconnect it. There it is. So there it is connected, and I can disconnect it. So this is terrific. I think this is like way better than we had before.
I just saw an option on the stream. It's a bit, it does a bit of lag, but I saw in the options menu, you have like resize guest to match window size.
Yeah.
Did I see that right?
Yeah.
So that will fix the problem we had with VGL, where when you resize the window, all your mouse clicks were offset by whatever.
Yeah,
okay.
It should do. I've
That's
not
great.
tested it, but yeah.
Ah, that's great. Awesome.
So this is, I'm very happy with that. But then it got me thinking about, other things. In particular, it was your fault, Yannick.
Yes. Of course.
I was.
Of course it was.
I was quite happy running Catalina in a so macOS Catalina in a VM, and I don't know if that's VM is shut down. Let's find out. And oh no, that one stayed up. Curiously, interest. Oh no, it says stopped.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to have to do that. Let's see if I can boot these back up then. So let's start by bringing up the Catalina machine, macOS Catalina. There it is. We're bringing this up in SDL because none of the, well, actually some of the SPI stuff works. In fact, let's demonstrate that. So here's the new. So I've in. This isn't committed to Git. This is what's in my local branch. This is using OpenCore. So I will boot this.
You need that.
And this was like halfway through the setup of the first run wizard. So I don't know whether this is going to, throw a hissy fit or not. Yeah, Charafal. So yes, the other option is that I use a I've got an Intel system with an IGP, and I could use the IGP for like the host graphics and the dedicated.
If you know how to use VoiceOver, press Command F5 now to turn it on and set up your Mac. If you would like to learn how to use VoiceOver to set up your Mac, press the Escape key.
So as you can tell, I've got audio working properly as well. Right then, so let's go through this. So this is the final setup for Catalina, and we'll just go through all of this. Don't transfer any information now. We don't want to do this just yet. Set this up later. Skip. Agree. So my password is test, by the way.
Surprised. Need to make the t-shirt happen.
Yeah. Right then. You can't actually put your password in the hint. It doesn't let you. I found that out earlier.
Yeah, I found that out too.
Express setup. Okay, continue. Share. No, we better not do that. I'm surprised at, in learning how to do this better, I'm surprised at how many people are actually using these Hackintoshes in VMs as their like main workstation. Yeah. They're using Ubuntu. They're giving the VM all but 2 of the cores of the CPU, and they're doing the GPU pass-through to...
I hear Yannick.
Hello. Hello, Monica. Thank you. Hey, Esme. How are you doing as well? I think my password is test by the way. I think we're definitely going to have to make some of that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you do hear a Yannick. Yes, this was an area of joint interest, and hopefully we will have good news for Yannick in just a moment. So this is Catalina. None of this is new necessarily. I can't remember what file system I'm using this time round, and I don't actually know how I find out.
I think you can choose with Catalina.
I could choose the file system, but I don't know what I'm running. How do I find out? CDs, DVDs, startup disk.
I don't remember if I chose or not.
I'm such a macOS newbie. Who knows? Who knows? Is it in here? These utilities. Oh, was that a bunch of utilities in there? Disk utility. There we go. Oh, let's try that. There it is. Okay, so Catalina. So here we go, APFS. So I'm glad that I'd done that because this actually rules out a potential issue that I thought I had. So this is using APFS, which is the slightly newer, shinier version. So hello, Monica. Just watched the Mac Quickemu stream from March 2020 the other night. Yes, so here we go. So what we'll do is I'll shut this Mac down and I'm going to boot it up again with the Spice display, which does work. So some of the Spice stuff is working in macOS, just not very much of it. Now, with regards to the USB side of things, so here you can see I've got this is the Spice client running now, and it's displaying the image just fine, although it is massive. For some reason, I think what's it called? OpenCore defaults to 1080p. So let's try this thing out. Option, resize guest to match the window. No, oh well, that's not going to work because it's macOS. None of this stuff works. So let's log in, but it is using this, and I should be able to run this and displays. There we go. I can change the display. Maybe I can make this smaller. Resize guest. None of that's going to work, but maybe I can just manually do that. There we go. So there we go. You can see here it hasn't detected the agent, but for whatever reason I'm able to connect to the display this way, which, you know, is better than nothing. But there's no USB over Spice, so I've preserved the host USB redirection that I implemented previously. That's somewhat limited because USB 3 in the virtual machines is not supported on macOS. So the best you can do is USB 2. And if you've got a USB device and you pass it through to the USB 2 on the guest Mac, it complains that there's a speed mismatch, and it tries and then drops the effort, and you can't actually pass anything through. Anyway, so that's that. So this is Catalina. I had this working. It's, you know, it's reasonable enough. So I don't want to log out. I want to shut down. So now let's try and... Oh, getting confused about where I'm clicking. Shut down. There we go. So we'll get rid of that. So Big Pod says macOS has basically no idea. No, I'm still learning. I had to read. I'm learning more than I ever really needed to know at this point. Because when you get into learning about the bootloaders and how to patch the kernel modules and what have you, it's a bit more. So, Big Sir, Now this was part way through. I won't run it in the Spice server though. This will run inside SDL. So here we go. So there is the image. Oh, you can't see that's on the wrong screen. Let's bring that down. So this is it booting up. And I'll be interested to see what this does. Is it going to remember that it was in a good place? Right then. Here we go. This is where I got it to, where I left off. So, as you can see, I've got to a point where it's installed and I need to do the configuration.
That's still using GL.
Say that again?
It's not Spice. That's not Spice.
This is using STL at the moment. I think Spice will work. We'll try it out. I mean, there is an interesting trick you can do, which is this. You can't do it when you're using VirtIO, but hang on, let's just do this. If I come down here, it tells me this is how I can connect to the Spice client. So if I do that here, there you go. I'm now connected over Spice as well.
Nice.
So I bind up all of the Spice protocol, regardless of how you start it. And the only way that doesn't work is when you're using VirtIO and all of the 3D acceleration. You can still use this client to send text between the guest and the host here. But it doesn't display any video because it's all hardware accelerated.
Okay.
There is a way to get that working, so that will be a future project. So, why? So this is really laggy. It feels like this is way slower. So I might have to go and take a look. Oh, I managed to. You can see
Rocket.
that's really. There we go. United Kingdom. Let's see how we go.
Remind me how you arrived at this point? Because I still
Okay.
don't have any Big Sur image working.
So this was done by making some changes to Quickemu to use OpenCore instead of Clover. I'll show you those changes in just a moment. And then using a different script to download the recovery image for Big Sur and doing a clean install.
Okay.
So no upgrade, just straight install.
I used the OSX KVM script to get Big Sur.
Right.
And I patched Quickemu, just the line that I replaced the lines that refer to ESP with lines that refers to it's called OpenCore. I don't know if that's enough.
Okay. Well, the mistake I was making is that I didn't understand the OpenCore UI. So under Clover, you boot it, do the install, it does some stuff, it reboots, and then it boots into this. But OpenCore doesn't do that because OpenCore has got additional reboot phases where it patches kernel modules to enable more support and what have you. And so the first couple of times it boots, there isn't the target OS that you've been setting up. But there is this thing called macOS installer, and you have to keep booting back into macOS installer like 3 or 4 times, and then your target OS then appears and you can start using it.
Figured that out from my searching this afternoon.
So the other thing I've done is, in an effort to try and debug why I thought things weren't working, I've changed some settings, and I think I may have hurt the performance a little bit by changing some of the CPU parameters, because this is quite clunky at the moment.
Yeah, I killed 2 or 3 VMs by messing up with the FD files. So I did change stuff in the BIOS or the Clover config, and yeah, it wasn't running at all.
Okay, well, I will go through those changes in Quickemu, and I will push some of that stuff up, which includes documentation changes. Oh, okay. Come on, this is infuriating. I might just close the Spice client. Let's see if it's any better here. Not really, it's a bit stuttery. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's very... There we go. So I'm going to have to look into that, because this wasn't the case. So I may have to reinstate my previous CPU settings. Just continue, just do things. What I want to see is, does it actually boot to a usable desktop? Because, as you say, Yannick, the only reason I was looking into this is because I suspected this is why you were doing this, because you wanted to be able to do Flutter development on all of the things.
Yes.
And so, why can't you use Xcode on Catalina?
Because when I wanted to install, well, I can if I go to, and I actually did that. I went to the last version or archived version of Xcode on some Apple website and downloaded the correct version. But when I did it initially, I went to the App Store, I clicked on Xcode, and it told me, well, you need to upgrade.
Oh.
That's why I started.
Well, should we see if we can break it? Right, so that's... Oh, well, that's fair enough. There's an update. Safari. Oh, we'll have that.
Yeah, the Safari and one security.
So, this appears to be working, although there's no dock, which I don't know if there's supposed to be a dock or not.
It's possible that it's going to take a few minutes.
This is
a
very
problem
different...
I had. Sorry.
Go on. Sorry, Yannick. Oh, no,
one problem I had with Quickemu before you did the upgrades is that once I chose the system upgrade, I think there was a system update in Catalina, and it would download the system update, but it wouldn't boot after that on the install partition. There you go. There's your dock.
So it's just very, very, very slow. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this down, and I'm just going to revert a couple of changes that I made to the CPU settings and start it back up and see if it's any better. So let's just... And I can explain some of the changes that I've made. Oh, wow. Maybe it's... Right, okay. So, let's just think about this. The changes that I've made are fairly minimal to get to this point. I'll just put my original CPU back together. In fact, the best way to show the changes that I've made is to go to Gitkraken. That was unnecessary. So here's the big change here. So this is switching over to OpenCore instead of Clover from that same project that, we both stumbled into as, the way to go forwards. I've made another couple of changes in that I want to set the disk sizes by platform. And then this is just some tweaks to switch over to OpenCore in the disk configuration here. And I've also dropped, you can probably see, I've dropped things like this cache direct sync and AIO native. Because Catalina's working fine, I think this is fine, but I think this may have been interfering with things. I'm not certain, but I think it also may have interfered with encrypted disks in the past. Other people have reported issues, and I added that, and I can't remember what that does, but fine. And I've also changed the default from legacy to EFI, but macOS always boots EFI under Quickemu. So that's basically all I've changed. The bigger change is in the README, where so that's Windows stuff. So here we go. It says download this new Fetch macOS v2. So it uses a script from their thing to download, and that displays a menu, and you can choose what you want, and then you convert the image, and off you go. So that was the thing that can actually download Big Sur.
Exactly. That's what I used
to. See a bunch of Flutter. Yes, indeed you will. Yeah, so who was doing the Flutter stream yesterday? I haven't watched it yet, Monica. macOS M1 on the VirtualBox. Is that a question or a statement there? I've got the wrong glasses on again. So, and then these are things that I want to do to improve Quickemu a little bit. And I've also collected up some references for Windows and macOS related stuff. JP, who's JP? I know who Dan is. Danny, right? JP. So that's what I've got, and I've just changed the CPU configuration in this, so I'll save that, and we'll just restart that VM. So all that's changed is the CPU flags. Dan B. Oh, okay. I don't think I know who Dan B is. So here it is. We'll now start EOS.
I need to take some time to watch that stream too. I haven't watched it live. I wasn't home. Does it still take hours to install? Even with the new script?
It took less time than it was estimating.
Yeah, well, it starts by estimating 12 hours, I guess.
You inserted a blank DVD.
Yeah, there's this thing that keeps popping up. Either that it's a blank CD or an unreadable file system.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is about. I need to figure it all out. However, that does seem to have restored the performance of the Mac, because this is now actually usable again.
There's that, and there's also the fact that on first boot, I think it still downloads stuff or builds stuff or builds cache or stuff like that.
It was extremely choppy, but it's much better now.
It might be, how is it called, this thing? The full system index, search index.
Oh, okay. I've not seen it on Catalina though on first boot. It was really noticeable this time. So USB, so I create multiple buses now rather than jamming everything on one bus. The configuration in Quickemu separates everything out. So the USB redirection has got its own bus, which is separate from where the keyboard and mouse input is, which is separate from where the smart card pass-through is, which is separate from, you know, the other things. It's all broken up. Okay, wow, we've got some comments coming in. Still weird to be the token canonical employee now. Yeah, I know. Well, things change, don't they, Monica? What's it like to be at the top now? Whom? Okay, whom? I'll just go with that. It's a white space inserter. Right then, Linux Pool. Oh, hey, Luke, how you doing? I work there. Yeah, actually, it's kind of becoming a retreat for, you know, ex-canonical people here as well. That's quite true. Right then, so, I think, Yannick, if I start committing some of this stuff, it means it should work. For you should be able to take advantage of it.
Sure.
Hey, thanks very much for the follow. I appreciate that. Something Ami Tuner, is that how we're pronouncing that? It's so mixed up. Right then. So let's go and push that code up, and I may actually just discard a couple of lines along the way. So all of this stuff is good. We can update the README. I think all of that's correct. So we'll just let's get this done. That we definitely need. We definitely need that. We don't need those changes yet. They're not important. We do need that change. And that one. And I'll not push these at the moment. Oh, maybe I will. Maybe I'll just go for it. What's the worst that could happen? We will move. Well, we won't do that just yet, because this is all the making it boot and working. But we do need that. That's an actual bug fix. So, right, I think that is everything. So I think that is migrate macOS to open core bootloader. Hey Don, yes, that's what's it called? It's called a something. It's follow. It's a follow train. So the more people that follow, the longer the penguin will walk for, and the more hearts that appear in the corner. So yeah, he's making his way to his friend, who's hacking away on his laptop. So don't think any of this is important for what you need. Maybe that, but I don't think so. And then you will need all of this. Actually, just yeah. Yeah, all of this can go, actually, thinking about it. Read me. Right then. That's pretty nifty for your stream. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you like that. Okay. Esme says, I hadn't realised that Hackintosh was a faff even for VMs. Yeah, it is. In fact, you know, it's as much of a faff on VMs as it is on hardware. and I wrote a game recently. It's a couple of months ago now. First game I've written is since, the 80s. And one of the follow-on things is I wanted to get it working on macOS. So I used, a bit like Yannick is proposing to do, to use a VM of macOS for Flutter testing. I used a VM of macOS to actually test my game under macOS, but more importantly, I wrote a bunch of scripts that actually create on Linux, will build a macOS binary and create a DMG file that you can then distribute and, does all the right stuff. So on Linux, I had it producing Windows, Linux, Mac, and Android builds of the game, which I was super happy with. Yes, we're always keen to see more community developers doing interesting stuff, absolutely. I wish there was something as good as Gitkraken that was free for private repos. Gitkraken is free for personal use. You don't have to pay for it if you're doing personal stuff. It is worth the price of entry, in my opinion. Right then, so Yannick, I've pushed those up so you can pull that repo down and have a play if you like.
Right.
I'm just going to take a look at the README, because the next thing I want to do is have a go at booting up Windows, because, if we're going to go for maximum heresy, then why not? So I've got a template for Windows here somewhere, Windows template. We'll just call that Windows. So Quickemu ISOs, get rid of that. Let's do a terminal under here. ISO, so we need to change that. So, these are wrong. Copy that. Paste the new version of that ISO in there. And the current version of the virtual drivers. So I've set up Quickemu so it knows what a driver ISO is, and it will then mount that at the same time. That enables you to, boot and get the thing working. So that should be fine. So let's do this and do Windows, and I'll just do it in STL for the moment. Oh, hello, something's wrong. Windows vars. Okay, what's this then? What have I broken? This is one of the reasons why I'm doing this. I've clearly busted something. Could not open no such file or directory. Okay. I know what the problem is. This is the same as the other thing, I think. Oh no, it did make it. If I just do that again. Is it gonna... Yeah. I've got a race condition. I'll fix that later. Press any key to boot from CD or DVD. Oh, well that's what I wanted to do. It did that to me. I'll do that again. Oh. Press any key. There we go. I pressed the key. Okay, so we're going to install Windows 10. And then I'm going to install inside Windows 10 all the compatibility for Spice and everything, and see if all that stuff that just works in Linux works in this. Install now. Oh, did I need to click on repair actually? Don't I need to go to repair and say I'd add drivers? No, I don't have a product key. Right then. Wait 40 minutes for the Xcode to install. Yeah, I've heard it's big, isn't it? Like tens of gigabytes.
Yeah. I'm not even sure I'm gonna have enough space on my hard drive, but
well, right.
Something maybe we can add to Quickemu is like initialize the disk instead of having the disk grow with whatever content gets onto it.
Okay, so is it not a fixed size at the moment?
I don't think so. It
Okay.
grows. It reports the size that you set in the config to the SOS, but the physical file on the host, it grows, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. And what is it you're suggesting you want?
But if you say, for example, give an 180 gigabytes hard drive to the guest, then initialize the 180 gigs file on the host system, so that once that's done, we already know that, you know, if you have enough disk space or not.
Okay, so pre-allocated is what you're after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because a lot of time I started a VM and then it filled my disk, and then I was not even able to
Crikey. I
do
can't
anything.
read this. How do I know which one of these it is?
Like 40 gigs to unpack.
There we go, it's found it. Okay, next. So this is the only driver we need it to pick up, is just the disk driver to get the install done. And I was reading with interest, there's a bunch of tweaks you can do to I think I can just say next, can't I? Yeah, there we go. There's a bunch of tweaks you could do. Apparently there's some smarts in Hyper-V, which is running underneath Windows all the time now, and you can hook into those from Quickemu and buy back some performance, which seems quite cool. So we'll have a go at that. So Linux Paul says Xcode must be more than just an IDE. Yeah, I haven't seen Xcode in probably close to 10 years. So I can't imagine what it is now.
It is the single point of entry to do anything macOS, iOS, tvOS, watchOS, anything. It's all in Xcode.
So it's like Android Studio, but for all of the Apple ecosystem.
Yes. So you've seen my stream where I struggled for 2 hours to install Android Studio. Well, take that and multiply that by 10. There you go. You've got Xcode.
Okay. And so you need Xcode alongside something like Visual Studio Code with the Flutter extensions on Mac in order to build Mac Flutter apps. Is that it?
Yes.
And not
there's
just
no
Mac,
way...
but iOS as well.
Yes. There's no way you can build any iOS stuff without a Mac and Xcode.
Okay. Yeah, I stopped short of making an iOS version of my game because it required Xcode. And I was like, so what I did manage to do is I made an HTML5 version of my game and added all of the... So Godot's pretty sophisticated. It knows when it's running, when the web version is running on a touch-capable device, and I made some on-screen, and basically an on-screen controller for my game. So with an iPad or an iPhone, you can go to the HTML5 version of the game and play the game with the on-screen controller. And I was like, that's good enough. Right, getting ready. I've forgotten how long it takes to install Windows these days, but whilst that's going, let's go and find...
But 7 days.
It's not that bad. No, last time I did it, it was like 20 minutes or so. It was certainly quicker than not iOS, macOS.
Yeah, well, 20 minutes to install and then 3 days to do all the updates.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Right then. I need to look into how I change that image as well. I want to put something fun in there for the OEM image. Right, developing for iOS is such a nightmare. Have you done this, Esme? Is this something you're familiar with?
I wrote one app for iOS. And game for my daughter when she was little.
Right. Do you want to add another keyboard? No, I don't. Let's connect to a network.
There we go. Linux Pole.
Oh, actually, I'm going to say I don't have internet because I don't have the Ethernet drivers loaded at the moment. So there's more. Continue with a limited setup. Thank you. My name. Okay, my password is test. Security question. What is the name of your first pet? Test.
Test.
Security question 2. What was your childhood nickname? Test.
Test.
And
you had a very sad child.
what's the first name of your oldest cousin? Test. There we go.
Your cousin test.
Oh, I don't care. You can have the location. It's on a VPN anyway. Find my device. No, I don't need to know any of that stuff. Diagnostics.
No.
Send only. That's the best you can do, isn't it? No, don't do that. No, don't do that. No, don't do that. Right then. Let Cortana. Not now. Not ever. No way. So many t-shirt ideas, yes. Thank you, Linux Paul. I approve. Yes, my oldest cartoonist. Yes. It's definitely a meme, isn't it? Right, this may take several minutes. Okay, great. So whilst that's taking several minutes, let's go here. So, if I go back to the README, which will now have the correct information in it. Okay, so somewhere down here, we need to find... Oh, it's the reference information at the bottom. I found a really interesting... It was this one here, this guy here. Right down the bottom of this, there was something about... In fact, I'll tell you what, this is not the way to... This is the longest web page in the world. There was... There it is, Hyper-V, that's what we're after. So, we will take that, copy all of that, and let's just go and see what window... Oh, it's installed. Look at that, Yannick, look at that.
Yeah, it's installed. Like a version of 2 years ago.
Oh, Microsoft Edge. I want some of that, but I don't want to read about it now. Right then, let's install the drivers. 64-bit. Oh, all the stuff is on here, is it? Okay, accept, next. Okay. Okay. Go for it. Install all the things. Yes. Just do it, do it, do it. Are we excited for EAC and BattleEye? Yes, we are. Very much. Because my understanding is I will be able to resume playing... what was that ridiculous game with the jelly bean people? The obstacle course game. Fall Guys, was that it? My daughter and I were playing that, but when... it got yanked from Linux because of all the cheaters. So I'm looking forward to... yes, that's fine. You can be discoverable. Install. Just check out all of the things. Finish. Okay, I don't know what these WinGuest tools are, but I'm going to install them. I agree to the terms. These are as a license I am familiar with. Ah, here we go. It's all the spice stuff. Excellent. Okay, so that ISO has got everything on it. So I don't need to do anything. We do need to restart. Can I do... No. Right. Shut down the PC. Right then. Good, good, good. Right then. Let's restart, but with SDL. No, actually it doesn't. Yeah, it does do SDL. But this should be fully accessible over Spice at the same time. Okay. Right, we're in. So let's just do some display settings. Change you to... there we go. That'll do. Keep changes. Am I doing this? You can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Do that. Okay. That's good. That's golden. So, let's have a think about this. Spice should be connected. So, if I open that up, I wonder if it's got any auto discovery. No. Oh, hello. What's that? What's... something went ka-clong. Searching for a display driver. Okay. Is it still not fully installed yet? Right, let's give it a... let's connect with the Spice protocol, which is on port 5932. There we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, actually, so that's working. So I can do this and let go. Hey, that's nice. That's nice. Hang on a minute. Why is it saying that? Oh, Big Sur, because that's why I put in the title of the thing. Right then. So, hang on. Let's run up Notepad. Yes, it works. Okay, that's good.
Excellent.
Okay, so the next thing is I've got my controller over there, so let's
It's gonna be a lifesaver too.
go up here and say input select USB redirection, and where is the controller? There it is, way down here. Hey, look at that. I think that worked, didn't it? So where does it put that information when it's done a thing? It made a noise, but that's just annoying. So how do I find out about this? Device manager, is that still a thing? Do you see controllers in here? Keyboard, mice and other pointing devices. Human interface devices. So that's the keyboard and mouse I created. Keyboards. Xbox peripherals. Xbox gaming device. Okay, so it's found there's a controller. I imagine that must be working. I have no idea. I have no idea how I test that any more than I just have. Is there a joystick thing? Set up USB game controllers. There's a controller. No. No. Controller. Control panel. None of that's useful. Anyway, copy paste works, USB works. What's the other thing? Oh, this Spice display stuff works. So there we go. That should be about as good as it gets there. So what we'll do is we'll cancel all of that and we'll shut this down. And then we'll tune up those CPU settings. Is there a mod in the room? I think someone needs a kick in the rear end. What?
Yeah, that's one. Just comment.
You're a mod, I think.
Thank you for the follow, licentious.
Thanks,
Don't
licentious,
see
for the follow. What am I
Don't
looking at
see
here?
any modding. Someone's for Lord Mushroom 69. Oh yes, I am. There you go. Should be able to do stuff.
Okay, there we go. I've taken care of that. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. It's difficult to manage all of this stuff. I probably need to get better organised in that respect. Right then,
So you have mods and me.
how come this is back up? Oh, so it's detected the agent and everything. Right. Good. Here it is. It's still here. So I need to shut this thing down. Which buttons do that? That one. Shut down. If there's anyone watching this that doesn't know, I know nothing about Windows and Mac. Like literally at the edge of my comfort zone. So yeah, running up these things and making them work better. Don't know where any of the buttons are or what they do. So let's go and grab this set of optimizations, copy that, and head into the code here. And we have a section toward the top here where we set up the CPU configuration for the hypervisor. And we'll drop that in with a couple of tweaks. Windows. So this is what we currently have. And I know that I want to ignore that because I read his enormous post earlier, and one of the reasons he had that is because of a bug with NVIDIA GPU pass-through. So, host, hardware vendor, KVM, so HV time is in there, so I already had that, but I didn't have any of this extra stuff. Okay. Let's just do this then. Let's do CPU equals that. We'll move KVM on back in here. We'll keep everything else. We'll comment that out just so we know. No. Is that in this? It's not. Right then, let's save that and go and fire up the VM again. And we'll run this with the Spice protocol from the start, since that seems to be much better. Install VirtualBox and put. So actually, I think that's possible. I think one of the changes that is this going to boot. Oh, I'm not impressed. That just fall over. So. Oh, okay, there it is. Oh, really? Okay. Well, that appears to be right. So, how do I know if it's any quicker? I don't know. Let's install updates. That must be the next thing we need to do, right? Well, it's interesting, isn't it?
24-hour stream with Monica, and I guess if you start updating,
it'll be fine. I mean, I bet it's done. I bet it's done in just a matter of moments. I bet it takes no time whatsoever. See, look, that one's already 40-something% done. It'll be fine. Done in no time. I've got time to pour a beer. Right.
Is this how you measure time?
What?
in
beers.
Beer pouring.
Beer pouring. Yeah.
It's gonna take like 3 pourings.
It's nearly done already. Look, there's only a few on the screen.
For the first batch, and then
Brilliant.
It's gonna apply updates to the updates.
So I think my original macOS tuning was good enough. So I'm going to leave that alone. How are you getting on, by the way? Have you been able to boot it yet?
It's still installing from the hacked version of Quickemu that I did earlier tonight.
Oh, really? Holy cow.
Yeah. I know.
Wow. Okay,
Takes, like,
so
forever.
I think that's because the CPU settings I was using when I said this is slow are taken from that same script that you're using right now.
So that's probably that. Yes.
I think that might be part of the reason. Here we go. Restart now. Look at that. See? How confident are we? The one thing I do remember about Windows is you say do the updates. It does the updates. Oh, you've lied to me. You're going to do some more now. And then you reboot and you check for updates, and there are more updates.
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
guessing there will be more updates.
updates of
Thank you for the
it
follow,
needs to
Survival.
update the update.
Hey, Survival. Thanks very much for the follow. Thanks for stopping by. Right then, let's see. My password is test, by the way. Oh,
There's
come
also
on.
the fact that some updates are hidden until other updates are installed, and then you realize that you have like a huge service pack to install because
Check
you
for
just installed
updates.
a small update.
Oh, but I downloaded the ISO today. It must... Oh, here we go. Oh, a cumulative update. Well, it's 100% downloaded already.
Yes.
The device is missing important security and quality fixes. Quality fixes. I'm going to have to remember that turn of phrase next time I write release notes. Changelog. Quality fixes. Not just run-of-the-mill fixes. Quality fixes.
Yes. Don't forget performance improvement. That's also needs to be there.
Right then, Windows downloads update. Downloads more updates. This is true.
Yes, it is true.
Very true, Rex. Yeah.
As I said, some updates don't show up until other updates are installed. So.
Right. Okay, so let's just go and take a look at what we changed here. I know I want this one. I don't know what migratable. What this? Oh, I see.
Thank you for the follow, Rexace.
Hey, Rexace, thanks very much. Thanks for stopping by. Right, we'll keep all of that. We're going to assume that this is a good quality set of tunes because it comes from somebody who knows what they're doing. And I'm gonna this is the set of flags, Yannick, that I was using when I said that macOS was slow. And there is my original set it's one of these things where I researched some stuff and that's what I came up with.
Okay.
But I remain I probably need to do a bit more work on that.
Oh,
right.
Mine
then.
just went from 6 hours left to 30 minutes left.
Yeah, it does
like
jump
that.
around. Yeah. So the problem I had is that I'd got the window in the background. So macOS does whatever it's doing and then it will reboot. And because the window is in the background, it then times out and it goes back into the recovery, the whole disk utility thing. You have to reboot again and choose macOS installer and go through that macOS installer like 3 or 4 times and then it finishes.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So I think there's a few things here we can knock off the list of things down here. So first of all, default to EFI booting. Let's save that. Let's go and get that committed because I'm making this change. I've decided this is a good idea. So let's do that in here. So default to EFI booting is that change there. That was easy. And we probably need to change the docs about that as well, don't we? So yeah, I think the last version of Windows that I actually used properly was a Windows XP. So it's been a while. I know just enough Windows and macOS to be dangerous. It's not where I'm comfortable though. Right then. So what else was on our list of things that we haven't done? Include macOS. I haven't done that yet. That's in the packaging. Make the default virtual disk capacity suitable to the target OS. That is the next one we're going to do. Zonk, and we'll go here. Oh no, back to Git Kraken. This is these lines here. So we are going to do that. There we go. Image sizes based on OS. There we go. That's what we need to do there. My first OS was a calculator. My first operating system. Well, technically a calculator is a VIC-20.
Yeah, the TI-57, a Texas Instrument one, and you could program that.
Yeah. You only use Windows for games. Oh, well, Rexace, good news. I don't know if you've heard, but Easy Anti-Cheat and BattleEye are now compatible with Linux and Wine and Proton. That was announced, was it yesterday? Or the day before yesterday? In the last couple of days. That news has broken, so there you go. You've got no excuses now. You can game on Linux like, well, I was going to say the rest of us, but it's basically us in the chat.
It's funny how they didn't care about Linux, and then suddenly the Steam Deck arrives. Then suddenly they realize, oh, Linux is actually a thing, and we're
Thank
gonna
you
lose
for
money
the
if we
follow,
don't-
Anthony
if we don't
Roberts.
put off stuff in there. So
Yeah. Hey, Anthony, thanks very much for stopping by. Thanks for the follow. Right, okay. Where are we on this? That's good. So now let's go and have a look at the README and what else have we got? Oh, what else have we got left? So I'm thinking we've done everything we can do there. We've added those little cheeky CPU flags and hypervisor things. I think that bit's done. As for macOS, I've just got this feeling I'm going to be at this for a bit longer, just digging through this stuff and trying to... that's something we need to add here. We need to do... optimize CPU flags based on host CPU brand. That will do. So I found out that there are different ways to pass through the host CPU capabilities into the VM, and also how to emulate, in air quotes, the bits that you need. So that I saw that somewhere. Oh, and this is the other thing we need to do. We need to refactor Quickemu launcher using an array of arguments, and that will make this super simple to maintain and follow the flow of what's going on. So you read that on Reddit then, Rex? Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll happen. I think the developers will get on board. I mean, I know that there are some games that got pulled, have had Linux support pulled because anti-cheat was introduced, and therefore it was no longer an option on Linux. and I know a few of those studios and developers have been part of the inner circle testing this, and they're gonna reintroduce their games again. So I think there will be some new stuff. So what have we got here? That's good. We were doing something with Windows, weren't we? Oh, that's only downloaded 74%. Just looking at my... I'm doing that thing again, aren't I? I've forgotten to do it again. Streaming over Wi-Fi. I always stream over Wi-Fi now. because it's my only option at Desk Lodge, and I keep forgetting to turn it off here. What's this? The Media Foundation stuff. Oh, is this FPV and stuff like that? Destiny 2. I thought you could play Destiny 2 on Linux. Can you not? I tell you what. That's one I wanted to play. I haven't actually tried playing it, but... Oh, balked. Well, there we go. That's me told. Apparently not. I wonder when that will change. Right. Okay. I need to find a macOS project. This one, and I'm gonna steal this. Open called boot, and we're going to do it like this. We're going to do args. So still at 74. Why is it still stuck at 74%? Looks like Yannick was right.
Of course I was.
Thank you very much for the Prime sub, Rex. I appreciate that. That's really good of you. Right then. Where were we? We're going to put arguments in, because I think this is the way forward for making this nasty bit of logic super simple to... We could do it just simply by doing this to start with, couldn't we? Leave all that alone and do so we'll launch that like that, and then we'll oh, just every element in the array. Okay, nice. There we go. We'll put that there. Let's just check. Yeah, we can do that. Good. Okay, so if we take that. I wonder if this will work. I don't need any of these lines. So let's get rid of that. I need to go and find out what that SM BIOS type 2 does. I think it's the number of fields that are presented in the BIOS for like manufacturer strings and stuff like that. I can't imagine why that's important, but it was one of the things I was adding just to... Oh yeah, so these are all the spice channels. Okay, so let's do that. And if that works, we can then extend that later up at the top. I just want every JRPG ever made to work on Linux. Do you really want all of them, though, Linux, Paul? I mean, would that be too many? Do you just want, like... I'll tell you what, give me a list of, like, the top 5 that aren't on Linux that you'd like to see on Linux, because I'm not sure I would be able to name a JRPG. It's not a genre I'm familiar with. But maybe the titles will mean something to me. Can't have too many. Well, the performance of games between Linux and Windows is still bad on Linux, for example. Kerbal Space Program has lots more problems on Linux. Do you mean the native Linux build is buggy or slow? Big Pod. Final Fantasy, as do the Ys. What are the Y games? What are those? Come on, Windows. Oh, it's still on 74%. I'm disappointed.
Told you.
I am disappointed. Is it frozen? Is it locked up? I think it has. I think the actual machine is dead. That's why it's stuck on 74%. It's dead.
Jim.
Right, okay.
Thank you for the follow, Tux Creations.
Tux Creations. That's appropriate. You've set a Tux. Well, he's not walking, he's sliding this time. I wonder why he's sliding. Hopefully you approve. Ease. Okay. Underrated JRPG franchise. Okay. So I'm going to have to go and kill... Oh. Maybe it is killed. Let's just check here. What are we looking for? Oh, there's a lot of stuff running there. What was this? That was my Windows machine. Well, let's just reconnect to it. Let's just reconnect to it and see what's going on. That is dead, Jim.
Yep.
Right, so what PID was that? That was... I knew this would be a good idea. Put in the PID numbers in the logs. Right then. You're getting cold. Okay. Oh, I've still got macOS running somewhere. I did not know that. I bet that's gone into hibernate. Yeah, of course it has. Right, well, we'll kill that as well. And that's multipass. Okay. So let's run up Windows and see what's doing. Okay, so Rex says they don't do game dev. I always thought.
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding right now. Please try a little later.
Alexa, I'm replacing you with Siri.
Sorry.
Shut the...
Please try a little later.
Okay, let's try this resize 2. Let's see what we can, if this works, because I haven't tested that out yet. Let's just do 1280 by 720, apply. that doesn't work.
No, I need the macOS world of emulation. My hacked script didn't install macOS properly, so I'm now reinstalling with your version of Quickemu.
Woohoo! Woohoo! I'm actually thinking of replacing my Echo devices with HomePods. I wasn't just being facetious either, Paul. I'm contemplating doing that, although my wife smashed one of the tablets yesterday, so we might be getting an iPad before we change speakers. Right, let's go and see about those updates. Windows. What was the big problem? Come on. Your device is missing. It's 20%. Microsoft, this is why we complain so much. Oh, disappointed. Is that downloading? Is it doing anything?
It's probably gonna go from 20 to 97% in one go, or something like that.
I've just realised I didn't want to do that. I could have. Did I save what I was doing here? No, I didn't. I should have saved it and I could have tested it. That would have been the smart thing to do. I could have saved it first and then made sure it's working. But no. Now I'm stuck waiting for Windows updates again. It's not doing anything. You've crashed again, haven't you? That's what I think's going on over here. It has. It's bloody crashed. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. It's me.
Mean VM.
Come on. How can that only be at 20%? Is there disk cleanup, optimization? How can you tell how much space is being used by stuff? Was that going to tell me if I just run that? No.
Probably not.
841 megabytes in delivery optimization files. What the heck is that? I don't feel like my delivery is being optimized when there's nearly a gig of cruft sitting in the system somewhere.
Jumped to 73%.
Ah,
Remember
yes.
I told you?
There we go. Well, in which case we're probably 1% away from disaster. There we go, 74. This is it. This is the milestone.
Yeah.
11. How can I have 11 meg of thumbnails? I haven't opened the File Explorer yet.
Welcome to Windows. Because Windows knows in advance.
Is there a way to legitimately download like a beta of Windows 11? I know there are leaked versions that have been floating around, but can you, like I downloaded this from the Microsoft website, you know, to do this testing. Can you do that with Windows 11? Is it in a hey Eric, how you doing?
Hey, Eric. Windows 11 doesn't run on, 90% of the hardware out there, so I doubt it's gonna run in a VM.
Well, that is why one of the reasons that I started dusting off Quickemu again is because Danny shared some information with me about how to do it, and they've been working on it. So I think it is entirely possible now, because there is a software TPM device that runs as a daemon that you then connect to QEMU and TPM a clock. So what are we working on tonight? We're working on Windows and macOS. Hey, Eric. So it's Quickemu and optimizing stuff. It's jammed up at 74% again. And have you cancel? Come on. Why are you not doing anything? Disappointed. I have some new... Well, what else are we waiting for? Oh, 75%. There we go. We're beyond the point at which it crashed last time. 79%. 80%.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's a runaway. It's a runaway hit now. Here we're cooking on gas. I was just about to get show and tell out, and look at that. It's stopped. No. Right.
It's better than an action movie. Oh my god, what's gonna happen?
I know. I want it to finish because then I could shut the thing down. I can save my amazing new arguments array and test it. And if that works, I'm going to refactor all of the launcher thing. Because then I can have string safe file paths and everything. It'll be amazing. Oh, schedule a restart. I'm going to restart now. Do it now. Alexa, reboot.
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding right now.
Yeah.
Please try a little later.
I'm going to pull your power socket. 7%. Oh dear. Right, 8%. That's going to go slowly. Actually, not downloading, but installing. No, now it's installing. It's probably doing that delivery optimization that I was just reading about. It's probably sticking another 800 megabytes somewhere on the disk. 800 megabytes. Yeah. Oh, shit. Mind you, I shouldn't joke. I noticed that some of the Ubuntu flavors have grown by 500 megabytes in size in 2110, Ubuntu Mate included, and I can't account for it. I don't know why. So
it's
I need
the Firefox snap.
Well, no, because that's not in the flavors. So I don't know what that is or why. So, and it's
Just
not that big either.
Just throwing oil on the fire.
Oh, come on, 92. Come on. I want to test this. I'm pretty sure the thing I've written is going to break, but I want to be sure of that. Come on, 95.
Be aware that you might have another 800 megabytes of updates to install after this one.
That's what we want. Definitely. Oh, hang on. What?
Eric says the little guy says hi and still wants the money you owe him.
I've forgotten what that reference to the money is all about.
You bribed Eric's son.
Did I?
So that he could, make Eric lose the race, and he did. So you now.
I'll have to come
money.
up with something. Okay.
Good,
I'll be in touch, Eric.
Trophies.
I'll be in touch. Right, let's shut this down before we get into it again. And shut down.
Oh, it says update and restart, so you have mandatory updates
I did.
installed. It's probably going to
There we go.
install
It's
updated.
done. Right. So I'm going to save
okay.
this and then see if it still works. Okay. Let's try again.
It's the
No.
spiced up version.
Bother. Unexpected token. Okay, that's fair. We can simply move that to there, I believe. Oh, hello. What have I just done? I've just upset something. Use spaces, not commas. I don't think I used... Okay. Okay, so that still works. I'm just going to have to tell shell check to be quiet. Because that is erroneous. Right then, I wonder if all of those things, because what the reason I want to do this change is that why does it not remember the resolution I've selected? Oh, because we're doing spice. Okay, so let's just oops. Oh, let's reconnect. Let's reconnect and let's finish it. Right, shut down. So you know how you're using a script that you found from that project, Yannick?
Yes.
I had an idea. So if I spit all of this out into this array here, then what I should be able to do is add a flag to Quickemu called something like script. And you can run Quickemu, all of your stuff, script, and the name of file. And instead of launching the thing, it will make you a shell script of your configuration.
Nice.
Because I think that might be a useful debugging tool apart from anything. Right, okay.
All those variables that needs to be expanded to figure out what's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So it'd be a nice, easy way to do that. And there we go. He's even a shell check user himself, so that's rather good. I can actually do this. Boink, zap, save, and they're gone. There we go, lovely. So if we look in here, he is doing that stuff. So if I find one of these, no, none of those are irrelevant. I'll have to do that another time. Okay, so that's a start on the args stuff. And I could go to town here. So we could say... no, let's not do it like that. That's unwise. We'll do that. And then this becomes args plus equals, get rid of that. And then just line all of this good stuff up. Oh, Esme, is it your birthday? Oh, tomorrow. Oh, well, many happy returns, Esme. I hope you have a nice time. My Stream Elements plugs. Oh, is it just mentioned the Ubuntu podcast?
Nice way to plug your birth date.
It has just mentioned the Ubuntu podcast. Yeah. Last one next Thursday.
Yep.
Not that anyone cares.
I do know now why you have a Ubuntu podcast button on your.
Yes, that'll be the next thing I'm working on, actually. Working on the set for our live stream, our farewell.
Next week, right?
You can all come and so next Friday, so the 30th. No, the 1st.
Be there.
Friday the 1st of October, 8 p.m. UK time, on youtube.com/Ubuntu podcast. I don't know if you saw, but we were thinking of using Twitter Spaces, and we did a quick test before we recorded Ubuntu podcast this week, and it was an unmitigated disaster. We didn't know what we were doing, and a load of people joined. So, yeah. So we'll do that. Get rid of that. So this is just going to build lots and lots of these. Whoop. What did I just do? Went off screen. So we
Broke
don't
it.
need to do that because we can do that. Net device. Okay. I've just spotted my mistake here. So net device. That's fine. I need to do this in order, which I haven't been doing. So net device that. So, excuse me. Actually, does any of this matter? Does order matter in this thing? I'm not sure it does. Do I need to start with any particular flags? Well, we'll find out. Let's find out by breaking it. Hey, Cuball, how you doing? Yeah. It's difficult, isn't it? I mean, well, I don't think we realised how much it meant to some people until we said, you know, we're done. We've heard that a lot, Big Pod. Like some very kind sentiment like that. That it's, you know, their favourite. You know, among the Linuxy stuff, obviously, because I realise there are much bigger, more popular podcasts than our Dog and Pony show out there.
So that many times, and I've said that even on streams where you are there, it's also one of my favorite podcasts. But it's your choice, it's your podcast, it's your life.
Yeah, and you know, we'll talk about this next week. So you know, everyone will be able to ask us questions, and we may or may not answer them.
Ask me anything that I
Ask
is
me
from what I
anything,
want.
but I'll say nothing of value.
Everything you say can and will be against you.
So this is still gonna be there.
Good thing about Ubuntu podcast going away is that I'm gonna have a little bit more time for other podcasts, which I have in my podcast list that I don't listen to, because nowadays I only work 3 days at the office, 3 days per week, so I have less commute time.
Oh, I see. You mean you're working at home more?
2 days a week. I'm working Thursdays and Fridays, which is why I can attend your morning podcast, morning streams on those days.
Yeah, I've been enjoying that
podcast
actually. I've been enjoying those little morning ones. They're good fun. It's a nice way to sort of get into the day. Going to be streaming a lot next week. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff to do with the Open Source Summit next week over on the Slim DevOps channel. Okay, so that becomes
code
plus equals. And I need to put another shell check in. Do I need to do that every time? Or is it going to be clever enough to know that this applies from up here? Each one, really? Okay.
I'm gonna have to leave you. I'm gonna have to go to bed because tomorrow.
Okay, Yannick. Well, thanks for stopping by. Let us know in Discord how that goes.
It's installing right now. Thanks for those improvements. And,
You're welcome.
Bye bye, everybody.
Thanks, Yannick. Thanks for stopping by. I'll just drop out of here as well because I don't need to be here if Yannick's left. Bye bye. So So what I'm doing here is just reorging this script because I don't want to have a big string. I want a nice array to play with. And this is a mess that we don't think works in a macOS. So I think I just need to drop this ignore in for shell check all over the place. And there we go. Just stop it moaning at me. That probably needs to be there though. Okay, and oops. Smart card pass through. Big old mess. We can probably join some of these together in a bit as well because they don't all need to be discrete. So, where's this starts here? So actually, that could be my opening thing. Okay. So, Rex says, out of curiosity, is Ubuntu Mate linked to Canonical in any way, shape or form? Kind of. So I had to get a trademark agreement in order to use the Ubuntu name in Ubuntu Mate. So, you know, it's just, you know, strange turn of events, but I did that before before I joined Canonical, and that's a fairly straightforward process. So yes, I have a trademark agreement that allows me to use the Ubuntu name, and Ubuntu Mate is built on Canonical infrastructure, so you know you can only release it if it's come off the Canonical infrastructure, and the tech board have to continue to renew your status as an official flavor, and if they decide for whatever reason they don't want to do that, then there is no more Ubuntu Mate. So yeah, it is definitely linked, you know, to Canonical in that there are policies and process around being a flavor, which you can't avoid, and you can't be a flavor without, you know, making some commitment. But it's, you know, bureaucracy. There's no funding or anything like that. I don't know if that's the sort of question you're asking there. So we will change that there. Yeah, does that answer your question? Okay, good. Right then. Let's see if this still works as it is at the moment. I'm inclined to think it's going to fall in a big mess. But let's find out. So we'll run Windows, but we won't run it in the Spice client this time. Okay, where did that fall over? Device USB, no USB bus found for device. Okay, so that's the smart card stuff, I think, that was just complaining there, which is going to be up here somewhere. Here it is. Oh, I see, because no, I don't see actually. Why is that not working? do that. That doesn't need to be down there, and likewise that can be in a comfortable spot right there. Oh, smart card followed something in this. Smart card follows USB host pass. Which was built using the call to that. Okay. So let's come back down to the smart card piece. Lost it. And we'll just do that. In fact, okay. And there we go. That can collapse all of that together. That does need to be discrete. This, I might just get rid of that. Do I want to keep that knocking around? Yeah, let's get rid. It's a big, big fat mess. So let's keep you in there, like so. And that needs to be discrete. Okay, let's see if that fixes it. Huh, interesting. Oh, that's why. So I've got some bits down here we don't need. That is... right. So these are the placeholders. So how am I going to cope with this? Just going to have to drop them, aren't I? So that doesn't apply. And all of that's fine, but this does not. Discs, we've taken care of that elsewhere. Right, let's try now. Oh man. Right, so this has got to the point where I want to be doing this on my big screens, not in a live stream with a small window, because I need to see more stretches of code at the time. So, and given that we're in for 2 hours and it's just gone midnight, I think we'll knock it on the head there. Tomorrow I'm going to be playing some games with that new controller that I had out earlier, and in fact there's another new controller hiding over there somewhere as well. So I'm gonna end it there. Thank you all very much for coming. If you're in Europe, then most mornings, weekday mornings, I do a cup of tea and a live stream where I do stuff like this and have a chat about Linux and catch up with people and get ideas for new projects and stuff like that. So if you're in the right time zone, sort of east of the UK and eastwards, then you're always welcome to stop by, have a cup of tea and a chat in the morning, and I hope to see you soon. Let's just move back over here. So thanks for coming, everyone. Appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for everyone that subbed and followed. I really appreciate that. I've had a payout from Twitch and I'm going to buy some Raspberry Pi stuff with that money and do a couple of Raspberry Pi projects. So get followed for that. Gonna make some retro games consoles and some camera nerdy stuff all out of Raspberry Pis. So thanks everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.